Alright, welcome back everyone, Zaf here to... Oh my goodness, yet another juicy solo leveling rise video. Don't you just love Illa's hair physics? Look at them go. Look at the flows, do you see that? Oh wow. But let's go over whether or not she's worth it, but based on her aesthetic alone, let's just say she's worth it. But for real, is she worth the summons or not? What type of team should you use her on? And what skills make her important? So let's cover all of that. Very important. She's actually one of our best, actually wait a minute, our only dark support unit in the game right now. I know Libora sort of provides, provides some sort of support, but not the way that Isla does, because Isla just provides a lot of bonuses, a lot of H recovery, shields and damage buffs that are not found anywhere else. She's actually surprisingly one of the most well-rounded hunters in the game. Jokes aside, seriously, she's really good. So let's go over her kit. First off, when it comes to her skills, overall, the main purpose of using her skills is to get the passive effects off, go figure. These effects right here, from strength to the magician, these are overall quite strong, and the wheel of fortune. All three of these provide us fairly decent buffs, but when it comes to advancements, what points are the best? Well, based on what her passives do, you can see from A1 she has a very important passive buff. When the user uses Death Nova, this skill right here, her second basic skill, giving us the tower effect, which is fine, it charges the power gauge of the second character on the team by 60% and decreases the cooldown of their ultimate by 20 seconds. So someone like Cha could honestly really benefit from this. Even someone like Mirai, I guess, can benefit. It'll let her ultimate come up basically instantly with the cooldown reduction and the power gauge bonus. Overall, you can say Illa's purpose is basically similar to Malin, providing us a lot of buffs, overall utility, but also a lot of damage as well that can be used universally. It doesn't just have to be a water team in the case of Malin or a dark team in the case of Illa, but as you can see as we go down, the tower effect also increases, so dark damage of a dark team member increases by 10% overall, pretty good, basically double from the 5% here. So I would say, if you're starting to summon for her, you should at least try to get her to A1, though I do want to let it be known that you don't actually need Illa. She's very good if you have Charlotte, if you have Harper. Obviously, if you have these two hunters right here, I would say summoning for Illa is essentially a must. They just work so well together. Charlotte, Harper, and Illa on one team is just OP if you ask me, so do not sleep on Illa. It'll be very beneficial summon for her, only if you have Charlotte and Harper. If you don't, she's still a good general support. Like, if you're missing Malin, for example, she can kind of fill in that spot. As we go back, I'll show you why that is. So if we go back to Illa right here, based on the testing I did off stream, because our stream did crap out unfortunately, I found that her A3 bonus was just so strong. Her A3 bonus right here, let me pop it up. This right here, although the effect doesn't seem too crazy, it's actually quite OP. But going back to her A2 bonus, this is not a point where you should summon for. It increases the team's speed by 10%, and the entire team becomes immune to slow effects, increases defense by 5%. The only real good effect here is this, increasing defense by 5%, because, I mean, when do you really need bonus speed? Not too often, I would say. And when are we getting slowed enough to want to be immune to it? At least not right now. I wouldn't say it's necessary, but later on, you never know. It could be the norm. But right now, her A2 is just not good, but her A3 is basically a focal point, because when the user uses Horoscope or Crossing Stars, these two skills right here, Horoscope and Crossing Stars, it activates Strength, the Magician, and Wheel of Fortune. You heard right. So 1, 2, and 3. All three skill passives applied. This is why she's so good at the A3 mark. If you want her to her maximum value, if you want to maximize on your way up tickets for Thomas Andre, I would say, depending if it's good or not, we don't know, I would say her A3 is basically where most people should stop to maximize on their tickets. Tickets are not easy to get, but if you think about it, her A3 bonus basically guarantees you get a 12% damage bonus, you get a shield, that's 12% of Illa's defense, and also you get a 12% crit rate and crit damage bonus. So this is basically her main damage source from either her support skill. Could you imagine using this on jinwoo? This support skill is quite strong. A shield, a damage increase, and a crit rate, crit damage increase. This is probably one of the best support skills we have in the game right now. It's not top tier, but it's up there. I would say it's very, very strong. That is, of course, if you ever to A3. Otherwise, it's not the greatest, because you would randomly get one of these buffs here. As you can see, when she is at her A1 or A2 bonus, when the user uses this skill, it applies either one of these 3 effects, so not exactly what we want. But if we go back, you can look at our A4 bonus, very standard. This is good for dark teams, obviously. Dark team members, dark damage increases by 3%, and their damage taken decreases by 3% as well, stacking up 3 times, so 9% each. Pretty good. I would say that's strong, but our A5 bonus, honestly, in my opinion, has a lot to be desired. Obviously, when it comes to death, it gives us a lot of bonuses. Specifically, right here, 12% damage increase and a 32% dark elemental hunter type bonus to the ultimate damage. Overall, pretty decent. If we just look at the basic effect for death, for example, the damage increase effect is much lower and the ultimate damage bonus is pretty low too. So that's why I would say A3 is basically her best point. But A5, obviously, for every single hunter out there, is still pretty good, though I don't think anyone has to rush for it exactly. This is scaled based on her damage increase stat, so we're not actually getting too much from it. Please do know that. This is the main bonus here. 32% ultimate skill damage bonus, so Charlotte is going to benefit immensely from this. A huge bonus. And also the Shepherd, pretty good effect overall. Increases damage by 0.2% for every 1% reduction to the target's HP. So this stacks up to 16%, not too bad. But you have to note, for this effect to be fully stacked, you do need the enemy's HP to drop, I think, to 80% or so to get the full bonus. So, I mean, it's good, but it'll take a long time to get there. So not really a stat you have to focus on. But overall, again, like I said before, her A3 is so good, and also her weapon. Yes, her weapon, let me pop it in right here. Her weapon provides a pretty crazy effect. At the A1 mark, it's pretty bad, I would say. It doesn't provide as much of a bonus. So a 0.5% increase to the team's defense for every dark elemental hunter on the team. And also, you have to remember, it decreases Isla's ultimate by a certain cooldown amount. If we go right here, let me show you the A5 mark. Her A5 weapon is quite strong. So, if we go to the codex right here, go to weapons, I'll show you. You can see this is where it gets pretty juicy. The entire team's defense increases by 4%, for every Dark Hunter on the team, so 12% total, and Illa's ultimate decreases by 20 seconds. Now that's what I call juicy. So, her weapon to A5 is honestly a must, in my opinion, one of the better weapons we have to get to that mark. Not the best, but it's honestly needed. And for Illa in general, A5 is the best point. A1 also has good value, so A1, A3, and I would say only if you're a super whale should you go A5. I don't think the A5 bonus provided me much. It's good, but not great. I do think this is the one pass that might get buffed, obviously, but when it comes to survivability, this effect is OP. You get a shield, you get HP recovery, you get so many buffs. So overall, Isla is a very well-rounded support, as you can see from these effects right here. So don't sleep on her, but don't go too hard unless you have Charlotte, unless you have Harper. That's when she gets really good. Otherwise, I don't think she's worth it to rush into. We have better hunters on the horizon, so get a weapon up quick, get her to A3 at least, or A1. You have at least Charlotte, otherwise she's not going to get the full value. That being Illa, you're going to use her, but she's not going to be the best. At that point, you should use Malin, for example, who does provide global buffs to basically every single type of team. So summoning for Illa is situational, a lot of you can't skip her, so don't worry too much. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop your like, make sure to subscribe, and stay tuned for more Soul Level Rise content. This was your Code King Zaf, signing out.